The chosen one. This is God's message for your spiritual awakening. A prophetic word carried on the quiet wind of your soul. God said, "You asked me why you had to walk alone. You wondered why the path I set before you was so quiet, why every familiar voice faded the moment you needed someone to stay. Hear me now, chosen one. I never left you. I was the silence walking beside you, the stillness that wrapped your shoulders when the night felt heavy. You thought the loneliness was punishment, but it was preparation. You mistook the hush for absence, when in truth it was alignment. I removed the noise before I gave you clarity. I pulled you from the crowd so you could recognize my whisper. When you cried and no one answered, I was listening. When you called for help and nobody came, I was teaching you that my presence is not measured by company. It is measured by peace. There are sacred moments in every chosen one's journey when the ground shakes beneath their feet, not because they are lost, but because they are being moved away from distraction, moved away from imitation, moved closer to revelation. You kept asking me, Lord, why does it feel like everyone I loved is gone? And I answered, because you could not rise while you were surrounded by those who insisted you remain the same. The silence that frightened you was the womb of your transformation. In that silence, your faith learned how to breathe without applause. In that silence, your purpose found its pulse again. When I separate my chosen ones, I am not punishing them. I am protecting the promise I placed inside them. There are seasons when I hide you not because you are weak, but because you are still being shaped. You cannot plant a seed and expose it to the sun on the same day. You asked for light, yet I let your roots grow in the dark first, because depth must come before height. You wanted open doors. I strengthened your shoulders to carry what waits behind them. You desired quick answers. I taught you the wisdom of slow obedience. This, beloved, is God's message for the chosen by God. Elevation without preparation destroys. Preparation without isolation is incomplete. So when you walk alone, remember this truth. You are not walking away from people, you are walking toward purpose. I stripped away what could not survive in your next chapter. I quieted the room so you could finally hear me speak your real name. I let you feel alone so you would discover that solitude with me is not absence, it is alignment. You asked me for strength, and I gave you solitude because solitude is the gym where strength is born. You asked me for peace, and I gave you separation because peace cannot grow where noise keeps living. You asked me for clarity, and I gave you silence because silence is where truth can finally echo. So, my chosen one, do not curse the lonely path. You are not behind, you are being built. The separation you fear today will become the testimony that rescues others tomorrow. I am not merely walking with you, I am walking you out of the old version of yourself. You had to walk alone because the destiny I wrote for you requires a faith that does not depend on who walks beside you. Let this settle in your spirit. The crowd could applaud your past, but only I can anoint your future. God said, I separated you to prepare you for your rise. This silence is not the end, it is heaven, rearranging everything around you so that when you stand again, nothing familiar can hold you down. The winds that once opposed you will carry you. The walls that once confined you will witness your crossing. What felt like delay was design. What looked like rejection was redirection. What sounded like emptiness was the chamber where your new voice was forged. You are chosen by God, marked for spiritual awakening, and sealed by this prophetic word. Breathe in the quiet and recognize me there. Walk forward with the calm authority of one who knows they are sent. And when the night tries to convince you that you are alone, answer it with the truth. I am the chosen one, and my steps are ordered. You're not wandering, you're being guided. You are not forgotten, you are being revealed. You're walking into purpose now, one quiet, faithful step at a time. The chosen one, you are in the season of testing, the place where faith is refined by fire. You have prayed for purpose, yet purpose is always born in pressure. This is God's message to every soul chosen by God, who wonders why the light faded after the calling came. God said, You asked me for revelation, and I sent you into isolation. You prayed for strength, and I placed you where nothing felt certain. You wanted confirmation, but I allowed contradiction, because only in contradiction can your conviction be proven. The wilderness you stand in now is not punishment. It is process. A seed cannot grow in sunlight alone. It needs the dark soil of uncertainty to take root. So I buried you in situations that felt like endings, but they were beginnings dressed in disguise. I allowed what you relied on to crumble, so you could finally lean on what is unshakable, my presence. Every chosen one must walk through the valley of divine testing, not to destroy their faith, but to reveal its foundation. I am not trying to see what you can lose. I am showing you what cannot be taken. The fire that surrounds you is not there to burn you, it is there to brand you with authenticity. You prayed, "Use me, Lord," and I replied, "Then let me refine you." Refinement is never comfortable. It is the silence that presses against your doubts, the storm that exposes what you still fear, the mirror that shows what you still hide. When I test a chosen one, I do it in private because public battles require private victories first. I am shaping your patience, stretching your obedience, and teaching you the sacred rhythm of surrender. You cried, "God, everything I love is fading." And I answered, "Only the temporary things die. Eternal things transform." I'm certain. I am pulling you away from what drains you, so I can anchor you in what defines you. Stop asking for comfort in a season built for construction. You are under renovation, not rejection. Listen closely. The people who left were part of the pruning. You asked me to make you fruitful, so I cut what couldn't bear fruit with you. Pruning feels like loss, but it is love in surgical form. It is my hand, removing attachments that limit expansion. Do not mourn the branches I removed. Celebrate the room I created. In this spiritual awakening, you are learning that stillness is strategy. While others chase visibility, I am teaching you invisibility. Hidden seasons are holy seasons. It is where prophets learn to listen, where warriors learn to wait, where leaders learn to kneel. You want to rise like an eagle, but an eagle's wings grow strongest in storm wind, not sunshine. So I sent you storms, not to ground you, but to lift you. The wind that pushes against you is the same wind that will carry you. Do not curse the resistance. It is proof you are moving in the right direction. Every gust that makes you tremble is training your balance. Every delay that tests your patience is sharpening your discernment. I am teaching you to stand when nothing stands with you. That is what it means to be chosen by God. You said, "Lord, I can't feel you." I replied, "I am closer than your breath. I am in the pressure itself. When the weight feels unbearable, know that I am the hands beneath the burden. When tears blur your sight, know that I am the vision, being purified behind the pain. You are not abandoned. You are being anointed. The oil of purpose flows only after the pressing. Remember, my child, even Jesus walked into solitude before his assignment. He was misunderstood, ridiculed, and betrayed, yet the isolation did not end him. It revealed him. You walk the same road, not because you are cursed, but because you carry covenant. I trust you with silence because I can trust you to still believe when nothing makes sense. That is what sets a chosen one apart. The storm you see around you is not against you. It is me, stirring the atmosphere to expose what cannot go with you. I am separating imitation from revelation, emotion from devotion, crowd from calling. You asked me for a sign. The sign is the shaking itself. Only what is anchored will remain. Let this prophetic word steady your heart. I am not the author of confusion. I am the architect of transformation. The dismantling you feel is holy architecture. Walls must fall before windows can open. The night must deepen before dawn breaks. So when you feel surrounded by chaos, whisper this truth. The chosen one is being rebuilt by God. You are walking through a furnace, but you are fireproof. The enemy sees flames. I see refinement. The enemy hears silence. I hear surrender. Hold your posture, stay in the light, and keep moving forward. Each unseen step is rewriting your testimony. Every hidden tear is watering your next miracle. Do not measure progress by visibility. Measure it by obedience. Obedience in the unseen is faith at its purest. When the loneliness rises again, speak this aloud. I am the chosen one. I am not forgotten. God is training me for the greater thing. Because I am, says the Lord, the God who turns wilderness into sanctuary, who makes silence sing and turns solitude into strategy. I am the God who tests the metal before he forges the sword. And you, my chosen one, are becoming a weapon of light. So endure the test. Do not fear the refining fire, fear remaining the same. The isolation you endure today is the proof that destiny has already recognized you. Soon, the very winds that tried to break you will carry your name to the places I prepared. The pressure will pass, but the strength it forged will stay forever. Lift your head, chosen one. You are not losing, you are learning. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. The test is almost over, and the rise I promised is already unfolding in the unseen. Keep walking through the storm. The sound you hear is not destruction, it is your deliverance being born. The chosen one. The storm has not destroyed you. It has refined you. Now comes the confirmation, the moment when heaven begins to answer the questions your pain once asked. God said, "You thought the silence meant I was finished speaking, but the quiet was only the pause before revelation. You endured the test, and now the purpose of the test unfolds. Do you see how your spirit feels lighter? That is not coincidence, it is alignment. The shaking removed what could not stand beside your calling. Everything that left was a weight, not a wound. When the dust settles, the chosen one always discovers that what seemed lost was only relocated for glory. I did not take people to hurt you. I rearranged relationships to heal you. Some doors closed not because you failed, but because I finished what those doors were assigned to teach. You prayed, "God, send me confirmation," and I answered not with words, but with alignment. Notice the peace that follows, confusion, that peace is me. Notice how new paths open quietly, that is my handwriting. Signs are not always thunder in the sky. Sometimes they are the calm after one. You are now walking through a corridor between who you were and who you are becoming. This is where the spiritual awakening deepens. Old patterns no longer fit, old fears no longer hold. The wilderness that once terrified you has become familiar ground. You no longer panic in solitude, you pray there. That is transformation, and it is the first proof that you are chosen by God. I am now restoring sight where sorrow blinded you. I am sending whispers that only your healed ears can hear. Pay attention to divine synchronicities, the repeating numbers, the sudden peace, the message that finds you twice in one day. Those are not accidents. They are coordinates from heaven guiding your next steps. Each one is my way of saying, "I see you, my chosen one." Remember the nights you asked me, "Lord, show me you are still with me." Every breath you take now is my answer. Every idea that sparks in your spirit is a seed of your next chapter. I am resurrecting dreams you buried under disappointment. The vision did not die, it waited for your maturity. Now that your heart is steady, I can trust you with it again. This is God's message for you. The silence trained you, the test proved you. Now confirmation will establish you. When I confirm a chosen one, I do it through inner knowing, not the applause of men, but the assurance of peace. You no longer chase validation, you carry revelation. You no longer need them to see you, you have learned to see me. The doors opening now will not require struggle. They will recognize your preparation. What once resisted you will now receive you. Do not rush to prove yourself. Just walk in what I already approved. I placed your name in rooms your feet have not entered yet. At the appointed time, alignment will call your name out loud. This is your season of divine appointments. People will appear who speak language your soul understands. Assignments will return that match your healed identity. Opportunities will echo the lessons isolation taught you. Every encounter will feel familiar, because heaven orchestrated the meeting long before you prayed for it. You will begin to notice patterns of grace. Where fear used to rise, peace now stands guard. Where rejection lived, purpose builds a home. That shift is not emotion, it is evidence. Evidence that the prophetic word spoken over your life is manifesting. Evidence that you are walking not by sight but by faith, the faith I cultivated in solitude. I am confirming you through endurance. Others may still doubt, but the fruit of your life will testify. Let your consistency speak louder than their opinions. Do not argue with disbelief. Live above it. The storm proved your foundation. Now your stability will prove your calling. You said, "Lord, I feel peace, but I still see no breakthrough." And I say to you, peace is the breakthrough. The battle ended when you stopped striving to understand and started trusting to obey. This is what maturity in the chosen ones looks like: calm confidence in chaos. You no longer react, you respond. You no longer fear delay, you discern timing. That is how I know the refining fire worked. Look around, my child. The same light that terrified you now guides you. The same wind that opposed you now carries your prayer upward. The same solitude that broke you now shelters you. Do you see the reversal? That is my signature. When I confirm, I reverse. Pain becomes prophecy, tears become testimony, waiting becomes wisdom. And yet, remain humble. Do not let recognition replace reverence. The purpose of confirmation is not applause, it is assurance. I confirm you privately before I reveal you publicly, so that when exposure comes, pride cannot poison what purity built. Therefore, walk slowly, chosen one. Do not run ahead of grace. Let your actions echo heaven's pace. Speak only what I command. Move only when peace accompanies the step. For this is the rhythm of divine confirmation. Still, precise, powerful. You will know it is me, because it will not rush you. My blessings never demand panic. They invite preparation. When the door opens, walk through quietly. The world will call it sudden, but you will know it was scheduled long ago. Lift your eyes now, the horizon glows differently. What was gray turns gold. This is not illusion, it is illumination. You are stepping into the light that your isolation built. Welcome to the season of confirmation, the moment where heaven whispers what your heart already knows. You are the chosen one. You passed the test, and now you rise. The chosen one. This is the hour of unveiling the season when the hidden becomes holy and the silent becomes significant. You walked through loneliness and stood through the storm. Now heaven opens its mouth and speaks purpose. God said, "Before I lift a vessel, I separate it. Before I crown a warrior, I conceal him. Before I reveal destiny, I rewrite identity." You wondered, why did you hide me when I was ready? And I answer, because readiness is not proven by eagerness but by endurance. You endured, and therefore you are ready. This is my prophetic word for you, my chosen one. Your isolation was a prophecy wearing silence. Every empty room was a classroom where I taught you languages of heaven: discernment, patience, obedience. Each tear watered the ground where your new garden will bloom. You thought you were losing everything, but you were being relocated to promise. I allowed doors to close because open ones too early would have crushed you. I delayed connections because premature exposure kills pure callings. I hid your name until your roots were deep enough to bear fruit without fame. Now, as the appointed time unfolds, I will reveal what I built in secret. You will understand why I removed applause, because you were never meant to perform. You were meant to carry presence. You will understand why betrayal broke you, because it separated loyalty from dependency. You will see why silence stretched so long, because the echo of eternity takes time to form. The wilderness you feared was your prophecy incubator. There I wrote upon your heart the blueprint of your assignment. I carved compassion from your pain and wisdom from your waiting. Now every scar on your soul is a doorway for my light. This is God's message. The next season will not begin with noise, but with knowing. You will simply sense, it's time, and everything will align. Your spirit will recognize what your eyes cannot see yet. That is how the prophetic works, faith walking one step ahead of sight. I am sending divine acceleration, but not chaos. Speed without peace is not from me. What I send moves quickly but lands gently. You will rise, and it will look sudden, yet it will only be the manifestation of years sown in silence. Heaven is now issuing orders concerning you. Angels move in patterns you once called coincidences. Resources gather around obedience like rivers toward the sea. Every no you heard is turning into alignment. What rejected you was redirecting you. Do you remember the dream you thought was too big? It will breathe again. Do you recall the word you once wrote down and doubted? It will speak again. For I am the God who resurrects promises long after they were pronounced dead. The delay did not destroy your destiny. It protected it from distortion. Lift your eyes, chosen one. I am turning your isolation into illumination. Nations will not know your name because of marketing, but because of the message you carry. Your voice will pierce hearts, not ears. Your light will not entertain, it will awaken. This is not promotion, it is positioning. I am placing you where purpose and purity intersect. I am sending you to places that value presence over performance, truth over trend, spirit over spotlight. Do not fear the unfamiliar. You are designed for dimensions unseen. The mantle resting on you is heavier than approval, but lighter than pride. Wear it with humility. When they ask, "Who sent you?" say only, "The I Am did." Well, this is to I too, for this is not your rise. It is my revelation through you. I separate before I elevate. I silence before I announce. I wound before I heal publicly. Because when people witness your rise, they must see my fingerprints, not your effort. That is why I allowed contradiction, so that when completion comes, only heaven can take credit. Hear this prophetic word clearly. You are stepping from obscurity into divine visibility. But visibility without virtue becomes vanity. So I built virtue first. I will release influence only where intimacy remains intact. Stay close. Stay small in heart, even when platforms grow large. When the world finally sees you, they will think it happened overnight. Smile and let them think so. You and I will know the truth that every sunrise was bought with surrender, every victory paid for by valleys. Every word spoken now was whispered first in tears. Do not run from the weight of glory. Learn to breathe under it. The glory that lifts also presses. It will stretch you into places your comfort cannot follow. Yet do not fear, you were built for this. You have heaven's architecture in your bones. And this, says the Lord, is the prophecy written over you. I am exchanging your hidden years for harvest years. I am turning the whispers of doubt into songs of deliverance. I am placing crowns on the heads of those who chose character over convenience. And you, my chosen one, are among them. Walk forward as if the ground itself recognizes your obedience, for it does. The earth responds to yielded vessels. Creation waits for sons and daughters who have learned stillness. Every step you take now releases sound in the spirit, a frequency of completion. Let your hands remain open. I will fill them. Let your pace remain steady. I will accelerate it. Let your heart remain pure. I will enlarge its influence. Do not chase outcomes. Cultivate obedience. Everything assigned to you will find you, not because you strive, but because you stand. Now rise, chosen one. The long night is over. The first light of fulfillment rests on your horizon. You will feel it as warmth on your face, not a flame that burns, but a fire that builds. You will know this prophecy is true when the same wind that once pushed against you begins to lift you. That is the sign. Resistance has turned into rise. And when you look back, you will whisper, every silence was strategy. Every separation was set up. Every sorrow was seed. Then you will understand why I said, I separated you to prepare you for your rise. Now go, my chosen one, carry the light you found in loneliness. Speak the truth you learned in tears. Shine without striving, for your very being has become the prophecy fulfilled. The chosen one. You thought the path would always be lonely. You believed the silence meant you were the only one who could hear my voice. But this is God's message for you now. The time of isolation has fulfilled its purpose. The wilderness taught you who you are. Now, community will teach you who you are to others. God said, I separated you to sanctify you, but I never meant for you to stay hidden forever. I built your strength in solitude, so you could stand among the weary and not bend. I healed you in secret, so your words could become medicine in public. You walked the desert so you could guide others through theirs. Your scars are not shame. They are signposts. Every wound you surrendered to me became a doorway for compassion. Now I am drawing you toward the circle of other chosen ones. Souls that carry the same frequency of faith. You will know them by recognition, not introduction. Your spirit will exhale near them. They will speak the same heavenly language of obedience. You will not have to explain your fire. They will already burn. These are not crowds. They are covenant. Not followers, but fellow builders. I am gathering a generation that values presence over platform, humility over hype, truth over trend. When chosen ones meet, heaven forms communities that shift atmospheres. Do not fear connection after pain. The betrayal you survived taught you discernment. You now know how to recognize spirit beneath speech. I did not teach you solitude so you could isolate again. I taught you solitude so you would connect with wisdom. This is the pattern of spiritual awakening. First separation, then revelation, then congregation. Revelation without relationship breeds pride. Relationship without revelation breeds confusion. But when the two unite under obedience, revival begins. You will soon find yourself in rooms that feel both new and familiar. Conversations will echo words you once whispered to me alone. That is my sign. I am linking the intercessors, joining the watchmen, aligning the hearts that longed for purity over popularity. This is not networking. It is networking heaven weaving a net of light across the earth. Every chosen one is a thread. Together you form the fabric of fulfillment. One carries wisdom, another carries healing, another carries song. When you gather, the mosaic reveals my heart. Alone you are sparks, together you are sunrise. Lift your eyes, chosen one. The horizon is glowing because others are walking toward you from every direction. They are the ones I refined in their own silence. You cried alone, yet they cried too. You prayed for confirmation, and I answered through them. The same spirit that comforted you is leading them now to your doorstep. This is the prophetic word for this generation. I am building families of fire, not built by bloodline, but by belief, not defined by church walls, but by worship. They will gather in houses, in mountains, in digital spaces, and my glory will dwell among them. Do not underestimate small circles. One whisper of unity shakes kingdoms. When 2 or 3 chosen ones agree, heaven calls it majority. You were never meant to carry this light alone. Even the flame needs other flames to form a torch. So I will send you companions of covenant. Some will stay for a season, others for a lifetime. Receive them with humility, not suspicion. Trust the discernment I've given you. It will tell you who is safe. If peace meets peace, proceed. If confusion meets your calm, bless them and keep walking. You are entering a season of shared strength. Where one prays, another will confirm. Where one speaks, another will interpret. Where one weakens, another will lift. The power of community is not the crowd's volume, but the echo of unity. Together you will amplify my voice in the earth. You asked me, God, what now? Now, you build. Build with those who have been broken and rebuilt. Build with those who value presence more than position. You will see my kingdom constructed through compassion, one healed heart at a time. Do not seek perfection in them. Seek reflection. They mirror pieces of me you have yet to discover. Honor them, and you honor the part of me I placed inside them. This is how my body heals each member, remembering its divine function. There will still be days when solitude calls you back. Go, but do not disappear. Return, but do not retreat. You are not escaping people. You are refilling purpose. Then come back to the circle, carrying fresh oil for weary hearts. God said, I am uniting the chosen ones like constellations. Each star shines alone, yet together they tell my story. You will meet them in unexpected places, in airports, on screens, in dreams. You will recognize them not by appearance but by atmosphere. Where 2 flames meet, warmth multiplies. I am raising communities that move in silent coordination, waves of light traveling across nations. They will not compete. They will complete one another. They will pray the same prayers at the same hour without planning. They will carry out miracles quietly, leaving wonder in their wake. This, my child, is your confirmation. You are part of a family you have not yet met. Do not call yourself alone anymore. Call yourself aligned. The prophecy over you has expanded, from chosen one to chosen ones. The same voice that spoke in your silence now harmonizes through many. You were the whisper, now you become the choir. So walk toward them with open hands. Carry no fear, no pride. no past comparison. Let gratitude be your greeting, and grace be your guard. Because when chosen ones recognize each other, heaven recognizes home. Lift your heart now, chosen one. You will see faces that feel like memory, voices that sound like destiny. When you do, remember my words. This is why I separated you, so that when you meet them, you would know what true unity feels like. Now go and gather light. Wherever you go, connection will follow. This is your new season. Not solitude, but symphony. Not isolation, but illumination. For you are no longer walking alone. You are walking together, carrying the same flame that once guided you through the dark. The chosen one. You have walked through silence, storm, and solitude. You have felt the fire, carried the weight, and learned the rhythm of waiting. Now, heaven exhales, and you stand beneath the open sky of completion. This is the moment your journey was shaping toward the quiet rise, the unseen coronation. God said, "The season of hiddenness is ending. You will not need to announce your arrival. The light will reveal you. What I placed inside you is rising to the surface. You are not the same soul that entered the wilderness. You carry authority born from intimacy, wisdom born from wounds, peace born from perseverance. Every step alone was a rehearsal for this ascension. Every unanswered prayer built the foundation you stand on now. You learned to walk by faith, not applause. You learned that elevation without ego is the only kind I bless. Look around you, chosen one. The air itself recognizes you. Creation bends slightly, as if to welcome the one who learned to listen. Even the wind that once roared against you now carries your breath upward. That is not fantasy. It is fulfillment. The universe responds to the surrendered. This is not the rise of noise, but the rise of knowing. No trumpets, no crowds, only the steady sound of your spirit aligning with eternity. You are ascending not to escape the world, but to embody heaven within it. You are not leaving people behind. You are lifting them by existing differently. God said, "You will walk among them, but not as before. Your words will carry calm where confusion used to live. Your hands will heal simply by resting in peace. You will command storms not with volume, but with stillness. Because authority rooted in humility needs no thunder to be heard." Do you feel that gentle warmth in your chest? That is my presence taking residence, not visitation. You no longer seek me as distant, you breathe me as near. I am not outside calling you upward. I am inside calling you deeper. This is ascension. Depth disguised as height. The mountain before you was never a place. It was a posture. You learned to kneel until kneeling lifted you. Now, every step is sacred ground because gratitude walks with you. The prophecy has matured into peace. You no longer ask, "When, Lord?" You whisper, "Thank you, Lord." That gratitude is the sound of arrival. I'm teaching you to live from heaven toward earth, not the other way around. You will notice how easily things align now. Doors open without forcing, people appear without planning, time bends without rushing. This is the rhythm of grace, the effortless motion of one who has surrendered control. You will speak less and impact more. You will plan less and produce more. You will rest more and receive more. Because rest, not effort, is the language of faith fulfilled. Let go of the need to prove what I have already proclaimed. Your presence will testify louder than your explanations. When others ask what changed, simply say, "I stopped fighting God." They will feel the truth before they understand it. God said, "I am crowning you with quiet authority. You will influence without insisting, lead without labeling, love without losing. Your energy will calm storms around you because you no longer host storms within you. You are the proof that peace is power. The world will still shake, but you will remain steady. The noise will rise, but you will stay tuned to my frequency. The more chaos increases, the clearer your calm will sound. That calm will draw souls. That stillness will preach louder than sermons. This is how I expand my kingdom through hearts that learned harmony. Lift your face, chosen one. The same heaven that once felt distant now reflects in your eyes. The same light that once struck from above now radiates from within. You are both vessel and voice now. I speak through your presence as easily as through your words. You are stepping into your purpose not as a worker, but as a witness. The work is not to perform, but to remain aligned. Every breath is ministry when it carries peace. Every moment becomes sacred when seen through surrender. Do not seek another mountain. You are standing on the summit. Do not fear descending again. Descent is just another form of delivery. I raise you to send you, not to shelter you. Go, but carry altitude within attitude. Stay high in heart, even when your feet touch ordinary ground. You will see signs of ascension daily. Conversations that bring clarity instead of confusion. Tasks that flow instead of frustrate. Nights that heal instead of haunt. These are confirmations that heaven has settled inside you. I will send people drawn not to your talent, but to your tranquility. They will ask how you keep such peace, and you will smile and say, because I finally trust God's timing. Your peace will become their prophecy. From this moment forward, never call solitude punishment again. Call it sacred. For solitude was the staircase you climbed towards stillness, and stillness is the throne where my presence rests. Breathe now, chosen one. Feel the weight lift off your shoulders. That was not burden, it was building material. Everything heavy has served its purpose. Now you move lightly, yet carry eternity. The path ahead glows gold, not because it changed, but because your eyes finally can see. You have awakened, you have ascended. The echo of heaven walks in your footsteps. God said, this is not the end of your journey. This is the beginning of your influence. Go back into the world, not as the one who seeks light, but as the one who became it. Shine quietly, love deeply, stand gently, for those are the postures of power in my kingdom. And when the night returns, and it will, do not fear the darkness. Even stars need night to be seen. You will never walk alone again, because the light now walks as you. So rise, my chosen one. Rise in faith, rise in peace, rise in purpose. For you have completed the circle, from silence to song, from shadow to shining, from being called to becoming. You are the chosen one, and this is your ascension, heaven alive in human form.